The next thing we're going to do is learn how to measure an angle on the chart. Usually when you say measure, people think about distance, but we also have to measure angles on the navigation chart. And here you can see the compass rose. The outer ring is always in true, and we're going to do all of our measurements in true. The inner compass rose, the inner ring here, is in magnetic, and we're never going to use magnetic. And if you wanted to do, just cross out that inner ring, then that will remind you to never use it. We're only going to use the true outer ring. In this case, we're going to measure a angular measurement from the Chesapeake light to the A buoy. That's right here. So we're going to go from the Chesapeake light to the A buoy. So I'm going to the middle of the dot on the Chesapeake light to the middle of the A buoy, and I'm going to walk my compass up to the compass rose. And since we're going in this direction, I start from the compass rose and I go in the same direction. I scribe a line, I put a little flag mark, and you can see that that arrow intersects the outer ring at 75, 6, 7, 8. So we would say that would be a bearing 0, 7, 8. Bearing. Now bearings and courses will be measured the same way. In this case I'm going between two navigation aids, so I'm calling it a bearing. Alright, the next method that we're going to use to measure a bearing is going to be using the parallel rulers. And again, we're going to use the same navigation aids, the Chesapeake light and the alpha buoy. And I'm just going to make a line here to show you exactly what we're doing. We're doing this right here. Now I'm going to extend it past the alpha buoy, but that's really what we're doing. We're taking the bearing from this navigation aid to this navigation aid in that direction. You know, if you just think about it, that's kind of in a northeasterly direction, so we'd be expecting the answer to be between, in the northeast region, you know, something between the 0 and 90 quadrant, and it's obviously a little bit more than for the 45. So again, we're just approximating, we're expecting something 70-ish. Because really what we're doing is we're making the... So the next thing I want to do is I want to add a reference line just to make it easier for you guys to see it. So I'm just going to add a red one, and this is the reference line that I'll be using, which is going to be a meridian of longitude. So again, this is the meridian of longitude, which goes all the way down, and if you were looking at your chart, it is the 75-degree 40-minute meridian. So I've just made it in red just because it's going to be easier to see. Now I'm going to use my parallel rulers, and I'm using the graduation that you see on top of the parallel rulers, this graduation here. And the way this works is, you can see there's an S down here. That's kind of your zero reference. And you always want to make sure that your zero reference, or your S, is on the reference line. And I'm just going to rotate it, and I'm going to slide it up until the top edge touches both navigation aids. I'm kind of just bisecting them in the middle. So as you can see, I've got the two navigation aids on the top of the parallel rulers. My south, or zero reference, is down at the bottom. Okay, so what you do is just read where the reference line intersects the graduation. And so I start at the 70, 75, 76, 77, 78. And it's right there at 78, which is the answer we would expect. So bearing of 078.